linked up with our guest, brother Junaid Bayat. We are getting our grade 12 learners ready for their trial exams. But if you are in grade 10 or 11 or in high school or just anyone, Brother Junaid Bayat is giving important tips, time management, how to go about. He's a pro in this. Okay, Brother Junaid Bayat, the lines are much clearer and you can go.
Jazakallah. Welcome back, listeners. So, in the first part, we spoke about mindset, right? Getting the mind into focus. Now, I'm going to talk about the second part, and this is where we talk about giving ourselves purpose, right? And at the same time, like I said earlier on, we're going to use the same purpose as a motivator to push us and actually drive us to achieve the kind of dreams that we are looking for. So, let's talk about purpose. Now, when I ask matriculants, every single school that I've been going to for the last, I'd say 3-4 weeks, when I ask students, what grades are you working towards? Most of them will just say, at least 99% will say, I'm studying hard and hoping for the best. And then I would go, listen, you have no clear sense of purpose. You're shooting in the dark. You have no idea, no direction. So you got to actually set yourself targets, right? So learners, you got trials coming and you got finals coming. Set up 2 different sets of goal grades that you want, one for trials and one for the finals. Because once you get your final marks, your trials marks, you know the gaps, and then you can fill it up, and then we can reset new goal grades for the finals. And the other very big thing, the second part, is about how to use your grades and your goals as a motivator. It's not about the 6 A's or the A's that you're going to get now. Think about your future. Think about what it is that you want to do, what it is that you want to become, right? What it is that you want to achieve and accomplish. And then ask yourself, right, what will now you use that to pull you towards it? Instead of keep pushing all the time, we want to use the goals and dreams to pull you towards it. So it's not about 6 A's. It's about what will the 6 A's or the A's get me 5 years and 10 years down the line. And the other very big thing is, guys, when it comes to your goals and dreams, never give up on your dreams, because you might have 1 or 2 tough days. Metric and the trials and the finals, guys, I'm doing this for like 20 odd years. You're going to have some bad days. It's not that the end, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of your metric. Just take it as it was a bad day. I'm going to go to sleep. I'll wake up. Tomorrow is going to be a new day, and it's a whole new approach again. Okay. So the second part, the second step to the 10 steps is to have a clear sense of purpose. Write down each subject and write down exactly what kind of grades you want for trials, and also what kind of grades you want for the final exams. Okay. The third thing that I was speaking about earlier on is, a lot of students, like I said, I got a message this afternoon at about 4 o'clock where a student actually tells me, I don't want to go to school, and I'm in metric and trials is starting. So it's here. Acknowledge it, embrace it without trying to do anything, because it's not going to go away. The only thing you can do is actually prepare for it, right? The reason you're going to find the anxiety and all that feelings is your system is warning you that I'm not prepared. So when you got too much of anxiety and you're feeling all that heebie-jeebies, it means your system is telling you, listen, this is anxiety. You are not prepared. You need to go and prepare yourself. So give it your best. Take full responsibility. No excuses, no blaming, complaining, all of that. Just take full responsibility. I'm going to tell you this. Level yourself up. Step up to your highest self and say, I'm going to bring my best, version of myself to this front so that I can tackle this trials and finals. The fourth step, guys, is all about productivity. All right. And when I talk productivity, there are 5 things comes, in productivity, and it comes from the word produce. So what are the things that's going to help you produce the kind of grades and results you're looking for? Number 1, time. Are you in control of your time? Are you giving adequate time to each of the subjects and adequate times in the days? Number 2, having better memory techniques for different subjects. Number 3, I need to make notes, take notes, capture notes. You must have notes for this exams, right? This trials and finals. Number 4 is problem solving. I need to have or up my problem solving skills, especially your higher order thinking skills. And number 5 is about reading. I need to read up more on topics to get a better understanding and a better depth of knowledge, right? So those are the 5 things. But when it comes to this productivity, I told you earlier on in my introduction, 80% of your metric success lies in you planning organizing and prioritizing yourself. So let me give you a quick tip right now, all of you. On a day you're going to school, right? On the day you're going to school, normal school day, you need to have 3 study sessions in the day, right? One study session is equals to 90 minutes. I study for 20 minutes, have a 5 to 10 minute break. That's 30 minutes. I come back, I do another 20 minutes, have a 10-minute break. I come back, I do a third 20 minutes, and that's your 90 minutes, one session over. So you need to have 3 study sessions like that for every normal school day. For a non-school day, or I'm going to call it, like nowadays we call it study leave, right? The days you're not going to school, you're not writing, and the weekends are all considered non-school days. So on those days, you need to have 5 study sessions. Okay, 5. Now, I know this might sound like, oh, it's so much, but trust me, it's actually very little. You'll be done before it gets dark. If you started on a non-school day, you started early in the morning, you did your first session at 8 o'clock to 9:30, then you had a half an hour break or even an hour break, then you came back, you said, okay, I'll do 11 o'clock to 12:30, then you did your third session, you said, okay, after Zohar, 1 to 3 o'clock, right? And then you said, I'm going to do from 4 o'clock to 5:30. You already got 4 sessions done, you see, and you got one more, and you still got 3/4 of the night, right? So that's why I'm saying you got to have those 5 study sessions. And here's the big secret. Matrix, grade 9s, grade 11s, and grade 10s do not push more than 2 subjects a day. It has been proven in neuroscience, it leads to confusion. It brings about interference in your learning. So do not do more than 2 subjects. Ideally, I suggest people stick to 1 subject in the day. All right. Number 6. Number 6 is about working on your own. This is something new that I've put into a lot of my talks and presentations, because what I'm finding now, a lot of the matriculants are studying in groups. And guys, let's be realistic. I'm a realist, right? If we were sitting in a group, we're not going to be always all studying, especially if there's 5, 6, 7 of us that are friends. We're going to talk about, hey, what did you eat? I'm hungry now. What did you do last? We're going to get caught up, and we're going to lose a lot of time. So I'm saying, yes, it's in its place. Study with a team, study group. You're going to teach them. But here's the golden rule. 80% of the time, you need to be studying on your own, and 80% of the time, you need to be studying on your own, and 20% of the time, study in a group. It cannot be you only studying in group studies. Because remember, when you're writing that exam, you're going to be sitting alone. You're going to be alone. The group is not going to be there. Friends are not going to be there. So when I'm working on my own, I need to understand, I need to know my learning style. What is your learning style for the different subjects, right? Different people like to learn in different ways. So what is your learning style? Know your learning style. And another very important thing to highlight, adding on to the previous one, make smart notes. So if you've made notes, right, now what you do is you put them into maps, concept maps or mind maps, spider maps, whatever you call them, because now it's becoming a mind map is a thinking tool. It helps you to think better, brainstorm. So this is what it's going to do. When you make notes, put it into a smart map, which is a concept map, mind map, or spidergram. And also, always leave your last session, whether you studied in a group, whether you studied on your own, the last session in the day, leave it to review everything that I did for the whole day. That's why when I gave you the times, if you are listening correctly, you'll know that I gave you 4 blocks of 90 minutes, because I left the last one. I wanted to bring it up now, that the last session in the day, your last 90 minutes, must be basically a recap or a review of that first 4 sessions that I did, my first 90 minutes. Okay, now let's go to the big one about performance. Now, just like a lot of people go to the gym, you're exercising your muscles and doing exercise for the physical body, so too, we need to actually exercise the brain, right? Now, I've studied in my research, I know that there are 5 major areas of the learning brain that helps a student when they are learning and as well as in an exam. What are the 5 major areas? Remember it as VAMPs, right? It's short for vampire, but remember the word VAMPs. V stands for visual, A stands for attention, M stands for memory, P is for problem solving, and S is for speed. So it's visual, attention, memory, problem solving, and speed. Those are the 5 major areas that we need to now start training and boosting. How can we do this? You can go and download, on your Play Store, search for brain training apps. You're going to find thousands. There's a lot there. But look for those apps that's going to help these 5 major areas. I'll suggest a few. I'm not affiliated with these people in any way, but these are the ones that I have found that help me a lot. Number 1 is Elevate. Elevate. Damn good. You play the free version 10 minutes a day, and it's going to help you unlock other versions, but it's going to help you in these 5 major areas. Number 2 is Quick Brain. And the third one is Fit Brain as well. So that's the thing that you need to do to boost your mental performance, right? Especially those are the 5 major areas of the learning brain. The next part is very important because, like I said earlier on, with that student that messaged me and said, I don't want to go to school, and I got this voice in my head that's saying, stay at home, forget about it. It's about this one is about staying optimistic, staying positive, and being hopeful, right? Life is going to throw you challenges, not just only in metric. You're going to find challenges at other times in your life. Ask anybody, they'll tell you. Even if you're a youngster, whether you're still in school, whether you're out of school, whether you're married, life is going to throw you some challenges. So it's about you staying positive and taking it with a smile, right? It's like I said earlier on, you have a bad day, you take it as, yes, I had a bad day today. Nothing went my way. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to wake up. Tomorrow's another day, and we tackle it again fresh. So what does that mean? It means very simple. It means you got to have a winning attitude. When it comes to this trials and finals, you must have a winning attitude. So what does a winning attitude mean? Number 1, I need to have an attitude of gratitude. So I need to be grateful to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the blessings that He's given me. I've got a good brain, I can think, I'm writing this exam. There's a lot that you can be grateful for. Number 2, the very important thing in having a winning attitude is your self-talk. What are the things that you are telling yourself? And I've mentioned this before. Every human being on planet Earth has approximately 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day. That's you talking to yourself. The sad reality is 95% of those self-talk, or those thoughts that are going through people's minds, are negative. So I want you to start becoming positive. Whenever you're catching yourself thinking anything bad, thinking anything negative about this exam, switch it around, reframe it and tell yourself, I got this, I can do it, I'm a winner, I got this, I got my time. We got to surround ourselves also with positive people. You can't be telling yourself all the happy, positive things, and you got people around you that are pulling you down, the toxic people. They got negative things to say. Oh, you're going to fail. Oh, you got a lot of friends that are going to do that. Oh, man, that section is just too hard. You got to have people around you that are also positive and that they're going to uplift you. Okay, so that was a little bit about number 6. Number 7, guys, is also about focusing on what your strengths are, right? In learning, there's a term we use. It's called metacognition. So metacognition is basically you understanding what you know and what you don't know. So this trials, this prelims is actually for that exact purpose, to see where exactly are you and what is your depth of understanding and knowledge of the subject content. So this is your metacognition. You need to use this as an opportunity to see, what am I good at in every subject? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And where's the gaps in that, right? Between those strengths and weaknesses. And after trials, now I plug those gaps. I need to bridge those gaps, plug it, whether it's talking to a tutor, whether it's going for whatever it is you need to do. You're going to use trials as the benchmark to see what's my metacognition, what do I know, what I don't know, what's the gaps, what's the weaknesses. And for finals, now we're going to bridge that gap. Okay. The next part is about having a healthy lifestyle. Okay. Like I said, we don't want to be sick. You don't want to be coughing, fluish, and, whilst you're going through exams or trials. So one of the best remedies I can tell you right now, I'm going to give you a few, but number 1, matrix. I spoke this at one of the schools I was this morning. I told them, please sleep at least 30 minutes extra every day. They're like, yeah, tell us that to our parents. Now, you got sleeping more, because I'm finding that a lot of the metrics are sleeping quite late and then getting up very early as well. In the rural areas, the kids are at school at 6 o'clock in the morning, the matric students, and they're getting home also at 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. So yes, I know you have a very full schedule with the interventions, with the tuitions, but all I'm asking is you have to get good sleep, because your memory depends on sleep, right? I've written a book in 2019 on memory mastery, and one of the things that most people don't know is when you lack sleep, the first thing that goes is your short-term memory. Okay, you're going to forget stuff, so you need to be getting a lot of sleep and rest. It's going to boost your immune system as well. Number 2, drink a lot of water. Get ready for a very, very hot spring. When you are writing your final exams, it's going to be extremely hot. If anybody knows, like Durban right now, today, I think, even though we're in the latter part of winter, today was like 30 or 31 degrees. So be prepared that when you are writing exams towards the end of October and November, it's going to be extremely hot. You need to be pushing a lot of water. Now, that 8 glasses is history. It's outdated. How much of water do you need now? It varies from individual to individual. It's basically for every 30 kilos of body mass, you need to be drinking 1.25 liters of water a day. Now, make it exciting, Lennis. What you do is make it exciting. In your water, put some slices of lemon. Though that lemon or even cucumber slices, it actually, it creates electrolytes in the water, which actually helps the neurons in the brain. So, it's going to help you. And the secret to drinking water is to take sips. It's not about drinking lots. It's about taking lots of sips throughout the day consistently. When you drink water, it's not going to help you immediately. It takes about 20 minutes before it actually starts filtering down into all the, into all the organs and then help you. So sip the water, continuously sip the water. And yes, please exercise. Doesn't mean that because you're writing trials and finals, now, no exercise, sitting in the house all the time, only eating. Go out, take a walk, do a run, have a swim if you have the pool. If you're near the beach, take a swim. But please maintain physical activity. Also, something that new also that I've been telling a lot of people, make a lot of extra sajda. When you make sajda, even if there's no reason, just make a sajda and put your head on the ground. What this does is, it actually removes negativity from the body when your head is, on the ground. So number 1, make a lot of extra sajda, and number 2, go and walk outside bare feet. Walk on the ground, walk on the, on the grass, feel it. So what happens is you're grounding yourself. This is why also, those of you that are studying, when lightning hits, we ground the electricity. So same way, we want all that negativity to get straight into the ground. That's what it's there for. So ground yourself a lot by making, number 1, by making a lot of sajda. And number 2, just by walking bare feet on the actual soil and grass. Very important. Number 9 is about help, right? I said we did that research, and more than half of the students are afraid of actually seeking assistance from the actual tutor, teacher, or whoever's teaching them. Why? I have no idea. I would say by matric, you're supposed to have had the confidence to ask the teacher, but nevertheless, I'm saying this: if you are scared to ask somebody, anybody, whether it's a friend from that class, whether it's one of the students who's good at it, whether it's a tutor, or worst case scenario, ask online, ask YouTube, ask Google. And most importantly, all of you, matrics, use AI. You can use AI to help you prepare for an exam. It's so powerful. Right now, there have been some upgrades they've done to both Gemini as well as ChatGPT. You can upload a question paper, right? And you can tell it, give me the patterns of questions that they've been asking, and it'll give you the kind of the patterns that the examiners are using. You tell it, ask me level 4 questions, ask me level 3 questions. It will actually create those questions for you. So there's a way in which you can use AI in a positive way. A lot of people just don't know how to use it. In fact, most people are using less than 1% of its actual potential, right? So use the tool, but in a nutshell, one message: ask somebody. Don't keep quiet. You don't know something, you don't ask somebody, even if it means you asking AI. And the last part, number 10, is about how do we go about managing your stress positively. Yes, you need to have some coping mechanisms in place. You need to have a good support system. But over and above that, you can also manage your stress, on your own. Like one of the things I like to do if I'm stressed out is I like to watch comedy. If you're watching Riyad Musa or Noah, any comedy, it makes you laugh, right? You get a little bit chilled out. So one, you can watch some comedy, but something that's very helpful for me, like for me, water is my thing. Water is my element. So if I'm swimming, if I'm making wuzu, it like refreshes me. It makes me come alive. So one of the ways in which you can manage stress positively is to have a lot of cold showers. Get used to cold showers. What it does is, at first you're gonna go, oh my God, cold. No. What it does is, when the cold water hits the body, boom, you kind of wake up. It hits like each of the cells kind of like comes alive. So what it does is it's getting you used to being uncomfortable, and then it's actually energizing you. Right. So get some cold showers, and in the evenings you can do maybe a soak in the tub. Have a nice, soak in the tub. If you don't have a tub, have a relaxing hot shower that is going to make you, kind of like sleepy, and then you want to go and sleep. Another thing that manages stress positively is our spirituality. So make sure, guys, you keeping up with your salahs, you keeping up with your Quran reading every day, you making dua. It's not only the days you're writing exam, Ya Allah, please, I gotta pass. No, you gotta do that consistently every single day, right? Spirituality plays a role in managing your stress. Another very big thing about managing your stress, especially the grade 12s, right? Listen to me very carefully. You want to have somebody that you can offload and talk to about it. Now, parents, please listen very carefully. Do not make this mistake of, when you go to pick up your child, right, from the school after they finish, the exam, or when you see them, they enter the house, and the first thing you ask them, how was the paper? That child just been fried for 3 hours. The brain has been, they don't want to talk about it. So beforehand, discuss with your child, or students, discuss with your parents when you will talk about that paper. Maybe say, right, let it digest. I'll speak about it after Isha. Right? Whatever it is, you decide when you're going to discuss about it. So what we're going to do is, instead of making them more stressed out, we want to help manage the stress. Okay. Then, guys, the key is, when it comes to this stress, it's good in a way. It's a bit of a motivator, and it's going to drive you. So what we got to do also is create balance. You got to have some balance. You can't only be studying, right? So we got to have time for ourselves. We got to have time for studying. We got to make time for our relationships, especially our family. Hang out with them, talk to them, chill out with them. We always we chilled and relaxed when we were family. That's the kind of mood, that's the kind of zone you need the brain to be in when you are learning. You need to be chilled out and relaxed. So have that balance, and as far as possible, minimize your technology, the time that you're spending on your tech. If you're using it for learning, well and good. But if you just scrolling, watching reels, watching shorts, it's a lot of waste of time, unless you're using it for motivation, or you're trying to learn lessons, or you're trying to take points. Other than that, I'm going to say, keep it to a minimum of only 2 hours. 2 hours, not more than 2 hours a day, right? So you break it up for the whole day, 2 hours. That's a lot of time, though. So keep that tech to a minimum. Minimize the distractions of the technology, so that you can maximize your focus of creating the productivity and the results that you are looking for. So yeah, that's the 10 steps to you getting better grades and better results. I'll quickly run through those 10 steps. Number 1 was about mindset and getting into focus. Number 2 was having a clear sense of purpose, setting out some goals, and also using your dreams to pull you towards it. Number 3 was about responsibility, acknowledging and embracing this trial, and bringing your best version of yourself to this trial. Number 4 was about productivity, right? And I told you 80% of your success lies in planning, organizing, and prioritizing your day. So take out the time, initial time, to invest, to plan out your entire week, right? And remember what I said, 3 study sessions in a day, normal school day. and 5 study sessions on a non-school day. Number 5 is all about working on your own, right? How do I, 80% of my time I need to be spent studying on my own, 20% in a group, not the other way around. I said, know your learning style, then make notes, take notes, and get notes, keep as much notes as you can. Then we spoke about boosting your performance, improving your mental performance. We spoke about the 5 major areas of the learning brain: visual, attention, memory, problem solving, and speed, right? I told you download those apps, Elevate, Fit Brain, Quick Brain, any one of those that's going to help you boost your 5 major areas of the learning brain. And then we spoke about positivity and optimism. You want to have a winning mindset, having a winning attitude, and to talk positively to yourself and surrounding yourself with positivity and people that are going to uplift you and motivate you and push you to achieve the kind of dreams and results you're looking for. Number 7 was all about building on your strengths, focusing on what you're good at, and using trials as a means of leverage to know what do I know, what I don't know, what are my weaknesses, which areas am I weak in the curriculum, what kind of questions I'm weak in, and then we bridge that for final exams. So also, it just came to my mind now, learners, when you're writing those exams, when you're taking those exams, always start with your strengths. Always start with what you know. You don't have to start with the numbering 1.1 and going on. Just start by giving answers of what you know. It boosts the confidence. The next tip was number 8, living healthy, boosting your immune system, getting enough sleep so that your memory is functioning well, drinking a lot of water, and exercising regularly, going, whether it's a walk around the block, a swim, but getting some exercise in. Number 9 was about asking somebody. Like I said, I quoted the research. More than 55% of students are afraid to ask their teachers. And I'm saying, if you're afraid to ask a teacher, ask a tutor, ask a friend, ask somebody who's good in that subject in the class, but ask somebody. Even if you don't answer, ask online. And last one I said, use AI, ask somebody on AI. And the last one, number 10, was all about us managing the stress positively. And like I said, there'll be some stressful days. There'll be some bad days, tough days. We just take it as, okay, this was a bad day. I'm going to go to sleep. Tomorrow, wake up. It's another new day, and we'll tackle it again tomorrow. So, yeah, that's the 10 steps to success.
Rounding up. But if you are available for next week, Tuesday, then we definitely got a show, and you're coming back on because an hour is not enough. Rounding up, quick one.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, this is an opportunity. Metric trials and finals is an opportunity. As Sister Sumia said earlier, it's an opportunity for you to showcase your depth of knowledge, your understanding, and where you're going to. It's where it's going to take you. So put a lot of thought in that. And my duas and all the best to all of the matriculants who are starting next week.
Jazakallah, Brother Junaid Bayat, for always inspiring, conveying your knowledge, free knowledge, because you do not charge us when you are on air. So Jazakallah once again, and let's see if you are available next week, Tuesday, to continue.
Jazakallah. Allah bless you all. Have a fantastic weekend.
Inshallah, Ameen. Yes, that was Brother Junaid Bayat getting our grade 12 learners prepared and geared up. You don't have to be grade 12, just someone in high school with all his tips. Listeners, Nelson Mandela Day is 67 minutes. Yes, we're still continuing that. If you are a principal, educator, write a motivational letter. You can email me that on smayakhan.alansar@outlook.com, and your school could win something free, a free meal, free stationery for your entire school. So don't forget to do that. I'd like to thank our technician, Monli, for making this show possible. Just believe in yourself, even if you don't. Pretend that you do, and at some point you will. Before anything else, preparation is the key to success. Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing and learning to do. Assalamu alaikum. Subhanallah walhamdulillah.